Does life end with a simple marble tombstone and a small plot of land? Or is there more? Since the 1920s, at least two men knew that if a device could be created that was so sensitive to surrounding energies, something should be able to be recorded. Like tonight's guest, I've spent countless hours in studios working with what I believe to be a device that communicates with spirits. Tesla and Edison were both ridiculed for their attempts at spirit communication, and I'm sad to say not much has changed today. But one man, driven by love and loss, dared to push forward into the abyss of the unknown and has created some of the best scientific devices today for spirit communication. We now look to this time, a time where Tesla and Edison's dream of spirit phone has come true. My friend and teacher, inventor, and engineer Gary Galka of ProMeasure.com and DAS Distributions is here in studio, and he has the device that cracks the code of the dark mystery of death. Tonight on your Shadow Nation. My name's Sean. Rewind that. Could you please give me your name? The internet? Yeah. Yeah, we're on the internet right now. I'm not going live. I'm just recording and talking. You guys believe we're still on Earth, just in a different reality, a different realm? I know you guys know you passed over, right? That you're in the spirit realm? Could you tell me if someone's here listening to me right now? We've had some great conversations on this new box already. You know, Einstein said, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change from one form of energy into another. Is that what we are, energy? You guys believe that?
Green science. We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Something. A UFO.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is your Shadow Nation podcast. I'll be your host, Ghost Man Sean Burris, for the next hour plus. This is the best in the Midwest, broadcasting live from the crossroads of America. This is your place for the strange, your Shadow Nation. My God, guys, what an exciting show we have tonight. We have my very good friend, inventor, creator, engineer, Gary Galka from ProMeasure.com, and of course, DAS Distributions, a pioneer in his field. And I have the honor of releasing some of the newest audio that he's picked up from his device that has not even gone public yet. I can't believe the honor of my friend coming on the show. I know he has a busy schedule and he's taking some time out. Now tonight, we're going to be doing that contest for the PSB7 Rev 7 5 giveaways. YouTube is not affiliated in any way. I must say that. We only ship within the United States. You must have a United States address, and we're going to do the Wheel of Fortune deal. We're going to do it live. First off, I'm going to introduce tonight's guest, Gary Galka, to studio. Sorry, buddy. Let's bring you in. Gary, what's going on, man?
Hey, Sean. How are you?
I am doing well, sir. Thank you so much for coming by the studio. I know you're a busy man, and wow, you have some amazing news tonight that we're going to go over step by step, and we're going to dive into the darkness of hopefully answering some questions, man.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't get into podcasts that often, but this should be a lot of fun. And I've got something really relevant that I think is worth sharing with other people who are interested. So, why not work through you? I've worked with you in the past on this stuff and I've enjoyed it. So we'll see how it goes. There's about a 10-minute video. It was actually quite longer, but there were some areas that I think are really relevant to getting some more questions answered. With this
Absolutely.
video.
And I definitely have a billion questions for you. You know that. Gary's been on before. We've been friends for quite some time, guys. And like I said before, he's not only a great friend of mine, he's been a teacher. And I was playing that before, and that was using some of Gary's different devices, scan devices. And what you guys are going to hear tonight, and I'm going to let Gary break it down for you, but it's single frequency communication, which I don't have to tell you guys, we're approaching a day where you can pick up a phone receiver and possibly be able to speak to whoever you would like to in the afterlife, your loved ones or whatever. Is that what we're heading towards, Gary?
I'd like to think so. I mean, one of the things that that they mentioned to me during this session was they're talking to me on the telephone. So I heard the word telephone, and I'm like, you know what? I think we might get there sometime in my lifetime. So that was really exciting to me, to hear that. But the other relevant things that were really important to me, obviously, the focus of this was to reach out to my family at a really important time, which was the proximity, the time of Mel's birthday, on Valentine's Day. So, I do this every year. I don't sit at this box and try to connect with my family all the time. I might do it 2 or 3 times a year at the most on special occasions. So this was an important time for us to give that a try.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what do you think? Should we go ahead and start the video and start dissecting it?
I think that's why we're all here. And I want to say hello to everybody. I see and recognize a lot of names in there. Everyday Treasure, Celia's there. They just got one of the SB7 Pros, and they had some good luck. In fact, they posted something recently. Jonathan posted something, and he said, who's the maker of this device? And clear as day, I heard Gary, and that's all the way over where they are. So that's kind of cool how, you would think that the afterlife, they might actually network among themselves or something, or they heard my name through them. But they're always listening. They're always around. So right. It's kind of a nice thing, to see that.
I want to thank everybody for joining from the Shadow Nation, guys. Thanks for subscribing. If you're followers of Gary, thank you for being here. And I just want to tell you, for the last 16 years, week after week after week, this is an open forum for the best in behind the scenes, the real guys in the trenches that make ghost spirit communication, spirit evidence possible. This is a place for UFOs, anything in the paranormal, ghosts, spirits, you name it. Like I said, 16 years, shadownation.com. And of course, you guys now know how to listen every Saturday at 3 p.m. But Gary, without further ado, I want to go ahead and jump into your greatest creation. What would you like to tell us before I start it?
Well, I think it's important that we dissect a little bit of this, Sean. Let's do something in 10, maybe 10-second increments, especially since there's a lot of communication here. I want to point out to anyone listening right now that, I've taken a totally different approach, an approach that most people wouldn't believe even possible. But these are things that I've learned that are very viable techniques that I've developed. It's just a matter of implementing them at a level that is consistent with the kind of communication that I believe can occur under the right conditions. So if that makes sense to anybody, what I'm basically saying is I'm taking a road that most people would never travel, which is locking into a really solid, hard frequency or radio station, and then doing something creative with the frequencies within that radio station. And the other thing I want to make sure everybody understands is the radio station I selected was NPR Talk Radio, and it's a strong channel. no political affiliation at all with NPR. I want to make that very clear, because the first blast of it that comes out of this talk radio station is mostly political banter. So let's begin. We'll try 10 seconds and I want everybody to see how we go from talk to the beginning of creation of spirit chat.
Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going to mute my mic. I don't want any outside influence. Here we go.
Introduced right now. We know multiple bills have been introduced at the federal level by our own Bernie Sanders, by Elizabeth Warren, by our president, Biden. And these are conversations happening internationally as well. But to get a little geeky for a minute, if you don't mind.
Sure, let's do it.
The history of tax.
Okay, Gary, I think I heard that clear.
So what I found really interesting, I hope everybody else heard it as well. We might have to just revisit that one little part, but this lovely spirit lady comes in and she says, "Is this where I talk?" And she is not connected with any of that radio chatter at all between the two women that were there. And from there, it just gets better. So she was the first response. It didn't take me much time. What you saw there was real time, me adjusting this device from actual radio chatter, conversation, and now we're getting into the spirit mechanics, the mechanics of spirit communication. So if you back up just a little bit, Sean, because the next two gentlemen, a gentleman and a woman, come in and they make their comments known very clearly to me.
Okay. I
back up just a little bit.
19 seconds is where we'll start. You let me know.
And these are conversations happening internationally as well. But to get a little geeky for a minute, if you don't mind.
Sure, let's do it.
The history of tax.
So you want to stop with that?
No, I want to, if we continue on, we have two more responses. So from that particular response, what I'd like to do is go another maybe 10 seconds out, because there's going to be several more spirits that want to get involved. And one of the things I want to point out, I want everyone to understand that one of the hardest things that I had to do in the session is I'm inundated with spirits who recognize that I can hear, that they can speak to me, but my focus, and there has to be a focus always during your session, my focus in this point in time is to make, the connection with my family members, whether it be Melissa, my sister, my mom, my dad, my uncles, anybody. And so I have to be able to absorb a lot of spirit responses, but at the same token, I'm also looking for keywords that are relatable to me, that connect me with the ones I love. So, I'm going to be searching for those words. Yeah, I'm going to be distracted along the way, but I guess, you have to take your mind and you have to block out things that are irrelevant. I try to be kind to many of the spirits. You'll hear how I deal with some of the spirits that want to talk to me. But again, there are certain things that you have to do when you try to achieve a connection at the level that I'm trying to achieve it at. I hope that makes sense.
It absolutely does. Now, I just want to say, I want to interject real quick, because Gary knows I do dead sessions, guys. When I can, I get in here, I use Gary's devices. And I've actually, I think I've helped my brother Gary out a little bit by testing it and going into it and trying different things. And I'm proud to get to do that. But you've gotten on me before, because you said, I told you I will get hippie-ish with it. I'll try to play these frequencies, and stuff. And you simply said, "Hey man, you're doing too much." Yeah.
You're overthinking a lot of the stuff that you do.
Right.
And it's the road that I've been on over the past 15 years in dealing with this kind of stuff has been, with so many challenges along the way. And yet many of the things that I've learned are just common sense things, and I couldn't learn the things that I know now if I didn't create the Radio X, this device that you're seeing on the table here.
Sure.
I couldn't have done it. Nobody could have done it, because I've been able to identify what they want, when they want it, where they want it, all these little incidental things that they're small pieces, but when you start accumulating them together, they create a very vivid picture what I needed to do. And, Radio X, it took me 3 years to figure it out. But the cool thing is, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this kind of stuff with a standard sweep radio. I mean, sweep radios are great. I learned some of the fundamentals, which I took from Radio X, and I put it into the SP7 Pro, which are very helpful and great. All right. But, on the same token, you need to be able to understand the mechanics of what it takes for a spirit to communicate with you. And I couldn't do that with just a standard SP7 or an SP7 Pro type of device. Nobody could. Everybody wants to know, well, what frequencies they talk on? What's the origin of their speech? How do they do it? Well, the Radio X allowed me to figure all that out. And that'll take us to the next level.
It's the new supernatural phone book. Okay, let's get back to it.
Maybe.
Let's get back to it, guys. With Gary's greatest creation, I went ahead and rewound it just a little bit. Gary, give me the finger like this when you want me to stop.
Okay.
Okay, here we go, guys.
History of time.
I don't know you. I'm not looking to talk with anyone that I don't know.
And then,
Reaching out to only those who know who I am. Am I clear? Clear. Okay.
Stop. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Now there's a whole bunch of cool stuff there, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
It
seems like everybody wants to be in on the party. And I've had those nights too, where everybody wants to jump in. Then sometimes it's silent, dead.
Right. But the cool thing with this technique, using one frequency, just one radio frequency, the cool thing is that your mind is more relaxed. You can focus in on the dialogue, the sounds, the speech, the words, much, much better than you can with a sweep radio. At least if you're professional and you've got your feet well grounded and you know what you're doing, if your mind is capable of deciphering these sounds and translating in real time, and a lot of the people that I see on this on your list here, many of them have acquired that skill over time. If you have that ability, this right here, it's like, I don't know, it's like a breath of fresh air, because you're able to hear things the way that they were meant to be heard. You know what I mean? There's no distortion. There's a little bit of distortion. I will say that, but for the most part, spirits can speak freely, clearly, and they can be understood at a level that I've never experienced before. So this is interesting, because you hear a spirit come into the room and he says, I know this man. Hi, Debbie. And I got Celia, I've got Everyday Treasures, Angela. I want to thank everybody for coming into this room. Debbie, I think you're all the way in UK or something. There's a couple of people here that are overseas, and they, it's past their bedtime.
You can see the comments we're getting here. Paranormal Void just says, that's amazing. You're right. It is crazy.
So, I know this man. Okay. The reason, and then she goes, I remember him, the radio man. Well, a lot of these spirits I've talked to in the past, and so they're attracted to me. I have, like most of us who have been in this business, I have a lot of stuff around me. There's no doubt about it. You can't do what I do without having all kinds of spirits interacting with you on an everyday basis. Some are good, some are bad. If I have a sleepless night, I know why. If I have, if I have thoughts that are trying to be put into a rush, or where you're starting to see and hear things quickly, it's you can pick up on that so easily. But it's just part of the type of work that I do, and I accept that. It's part of it's the important part of the things that I have to accomplish, and that's one of the things that goes with it. And you have to accept that. If you're not willing to accept it, then you're in the wrong business.
Right. And I just wanted to interject real quick, Gary,
Yeah.
for the listeners in chat and all around the world, and of course you. It's so funny because I've done this for years, but with your devices, within the last 4 or 5 years, I started upping my game with spirit communication, tried new things, gotten better and better. And I think that's my calling now. So I'll go set up everything and let it do its job, video cameras, all that stuff. But I get serious when it comes to spirit communication on investigation, stuff like that. But sitting right here, guys, in this chair, in front of this microphone, in front of this computer, is where I've gotten the most evidence. I mean, right here in this room, in my house, which is, to my knowledge, not haunted. I have some haunted and cursed artifacts behind me that I've gotten over the years, but they've been blessed and all that stuff. And, I don't think it's those guys talking to me. So spirits really are around us all the time. And Garrett, one time a person told me that anything you hunt long enough, sooner or later, it starts hunting you. And I found that to be true. And you told me, my friend, you said, you do this long enough, you build up your relationship, they'll start talking to you. And you heard in the beginning segment when I opened up, Sean Burris. Sean, how are you? Sean, what's going on? And I got in my car one day, guys, and I started it up. And you know how it has the Chevrolet flash on the backup screen and all that, and it goes through the process. I heard, hello, Sean. And then it went right into sports radio. So they do contact you whenever they feel like it. That's amazing, Gary.
Yeah. I mean, if you're open to it, with all the testing that I've had to do, with all that testing and all of the experiments that I've done day in, day out for hours and hours, hundreds, thousands of hours of time, you're going to create an open window. I hate to present it as such, but it's a window, and spirits will come in and out on a regular basis in an environment. So I was never shy about doing this in the shop. I was never shy about doing it at home, because over the years, I've experienced just about everything you can imagine. So when I say that, I mean, I've experienced the negative impact of what I do. I've experienced the positive impact of what I do. And in this video, in this session, towards the end, one of the spirits wants to remind me that and she says, there's a negative side to life. Right. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
It's very clear. She wants to make it a very strong point. But I think we're getting beyond this session, and I want to thank everybody for their patience, because there's a lot. I don't get an opportunity to talk, very often, and I kind of enjoy it because there's so much I want to release in my mind, but I never have the opportunity to do that. So
this show.
Yeah, I mean, I like, and I'm about ready to get inundated with a sunbeam here, which I don't mind, but
it's all right.
I like to be able to release things fluently to the point where my thoughts it's just a normal progression where the thoughts just come out. But I think we covered all that stuff. So let's back up just a little bit, so everybody can hear what we just went through, starting with the gentleman that said, I know this man, and then I know him, blah, blah, blah. But then another spirit says he doesn't know him. So in a way, you've got a conflict between spirits. You've got a woman that says, he doesn't know you, I know you, but he doesn't know you. And then it just goes on from there. So we're getting a little bit of a squabble between spirits here.
Yeah, I love it. And on our next break, guys, I think I'm going to put out the keyword. What do you think, Gare? And we'll start our first PSB7 Rev 7 giveaway, our first unit. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I'll give out the keyword at that time. Me and Gary have given you 30 seconds you'll see it pop up, and you get into chat and you put in the keyword we give you. You'll have 30 seconds to put it in, and we hit the draw button, and away we go. So I'll let you know when that's getting ready to happen. So no surprise stuff.
What are we giving away? What are we giving away?
We are giving away 5 PSB7 Rev 7 units, spirit boxes.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Compliments of Gary Galka.
That's fine.
Guys. And that's an amazing box. And maybe Gary will break that down for
Maybe I can just give one to everybody in the room.
That'd be great, huh?
Yeah.
Except YouTube would ding us and the IRS would come
Oh,
hunt.
yeah. That's what happened during my last spirit circle, you know, and I brought like 20 SB7s with me, and I was going to do a contest, but then who wants an SB7? I just gave them all away. So, right. But I think that the did you queue up in the beginning to that guy? I know this man.
It back to 45 seconds.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
All right. Here we go, guys.
I'll give you the finger when you stop.
Okay. Here we go.
With anyone that I don't know.
And then
Reaching out to only those who know who I am. Am I clear? Clear. Okay. I am opening the opportunity for my loved ones to come through. Only my loved ones. I'm not here to chit-chat with any of you right now. So this is for family. And specifically one person, because I want to wish her a happy birthday. It's coming up.
Let's stop.
On the dime.
Mm-hmm. So this is getting kind of interesting. You know, I'm setting the stage. I want them to follow certain rules, okay, as we get deeper into this session. I want to make sure that I'm in charge and they're not in charge, okay? And they're basically my rules, you know, my terms, my conditions, if they want to move forward with this whole thing. So, you know, unfortunately, that's always been a challenge for me is, you know, once you get a session going, you can't discriminate. It's just not possible. I can't say, okay, I only want to talk with one type of spirit or another type of spirit. You're not allowed, you're allowed. All those things you can't do, you know? So my family members, in order for them to come in and work with me on this session, they literally have to transition from one location to another location and make their presence known to me. So, you know, I didn't know if they would show up. It was just like anybody else. You never know. But I want to point out something. I've always said, and I've always tried to share this with people, is that our loved ones stop in from time to time. They observe us. They know our emotional state. They know our thoughts. They know our love. They come in to sense our love, to feel our love, to rekindle memories even that they have and reestablish that bond. Even though it's invisible to us, they're there, they're observing, they're always providing subtle confirmation and assistance to us throughout our lives. People don't realize that. But if you're sensitive to these types of things, it's something that you could really benefit by. So again, my family members have to come here. When they come here, they're subject to all the other spirits that are around. You know, it's not a beautiful place for them to be. So it's a hardship. So you never know when it's going to happen or how long it's going to happen for. So let's continue on. I think the words that were spoken.
We had a question there, Gare, by Everyday Treasures. Do you pick up repeating voices?
Do we need to pick up repeating voices?
Do you pick up repeating voices?
Yeah, there in this case, there's a name that is brought up. The name is Nathan. Nathan is brought up 2 or 3 times. Even towards the tail end, it's a very subtle, within a few seconds of the end of this audio, the name Nathan comes up, but they're telling me Nathan will help you. You'll hear that a little bit later during the thing. I'm not sure. Nathan could be anything to me. He could be a spirit guide. He could be someone who's been watching over me. He could be any spirit that could offer me some assistance, but it's transparent to what I can see, feel, or hear, through my device. I don't know who Nathan is. That could just be a name that they were bringing up. But one of the things I want to point out, because Radio X has a 10-second rewind built into it, and I am using a much better processor to be able to reproduce the sounds and stuff that I do with the APF. It's actually at least 2 to 3 times better voice quality, but it's also very expensive. But what you will hear, and I apologize, because in this video, you will see it sometimes. I'll say, I'm pressing the 10-second rewind button. So if I hear something, my first instinct is to rewind, play it back, make some adjustments, okay, where I'm chopping up certain frequencies. I might let a little more frequency through, which would impact the response, make it stronger or weaker for me, so that my mind can translate. But I'm always rewinding and analyzing. But the cool thing about that is it's not a waste of time, because the spirits will take I'm going to use just the recycled responses that I had, and they'll come through in a different order, or the words will be changed a little bit. It's amazing what they can do. So it's, when I start rewinding and playing back stuff that's, data that is in queue or in the cache, in the data buffer, they're manipulating that in real time. So they may add a word or two. They may add a string of words. It's wonderful. So it's kind of cool, but I'm always rewinding. I should be telling you in this video every time. I think I do it a few times, but if you look real carefully, can you bring up the picture of the machine?
Absolutely.
So if you look at where my finger is right now, right above that, the yellow button to the right above my finger, that's the rewind button. Okay. The button that I'm on right now, I'm adjusting the amount of frequencies that are coming through the device, meaning I can rewind and allow us to increase and enhance the frequencies to the extent that their voice could be louder, softer, or even broken up into smaller pieces. So I'm adjusting in real time. And the button right above that is the rewind button. So the far left button is, so I have 2 buttons there. I can increase and decrease, far left, far right. And then, there's some other subtle things that I can do, but I'm constantly, based on what I hear, I'm constantly making adjustments for the benefit of my hearing and translation, to make sure my brain is in sync with what I'm hearing. That's pretty much what I'm doing. It's something that you learn. It's like learning how to play an instrument and knowing what chord to play and how to do it at the right time.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
So what do you say we try to give away our first PSB7 Rev 7?
Yeah, do it.
All right, guys. All right. Get in chat.
I want to see how this is done, because this is new.
Chat. Yeah, this is brand new, so bear with us. Okay, guys. So the first keyword, get in here. We're going to do the drawing. The first keyword, get ready, is Melmeter. 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 You have 30 seconds to get in and put that in chat. And it looks like our first winner is Everyday Treasures, guys. Everyday Treasures.
Wow. Great. Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Everyday Treasures was our first winner today. Go to Gary's email, and that is T-cells, T as in Tom, cells at DASdistribution.com. That's T-cells at DASdistribution.com. Put your name in there and put all your shipping information to Gary, so he will know where to send your PSB7 Rev 7 device. Okay. And congratulations again to our friend Everyday Treasure.
Congratulations. That's great. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Gary. Now, that was our first one given out. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go.
I think we should back up just a little bit so we overlap,
Okay.
so we don't miss anything.
Clear. Okay. I am opening the opportunity for my loved ones to come through. Only my loved ones. I'm not here to chit chat with any of you right now. So this is for family. And specifically one person, because I want to wish her a happy birthday. It's coming up. I want this to be clean. I don't want to hear from any of you unless you're related to me. Are we clear on that? Good. Don't expect me to answer you back. I'm not looking to talk with you.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope many of you had an opportunity to see the progression that occurred there, the transition from a lot of randomness to, again, there's some words that are starting to make sense to me that are grabbing my attention. And I really want to start to focus better my attention into some of those keywords. You know, I'm hearing I love you, I'm hearing mother, I'm hearing the kinds of things I was hoping to hear. And it's leading us now to the kind of connection that I had hoped to have during this session. So, Sean, was there anything there that caught your attention that maybe I missed or that I should talk about a little bit more?
Well, you know, it's the process, because we clearly have the one frequency solution figured out. We have the dead operating on one frequency, which is amazing. I mean, that's within itself. What are you thinking at this time? Is there a mental process? Are you picturing Mel and family members in your mind? Are you just continuously verbally communicating? I speak with no one but my family.
Right. Well, I've done this so many times, and I've heard from my family on special occasions before through this box. So for me, it's like it's just trying to establish a long distance phone call. You know, it's very, to me, it's very normal. It's a natural progression from, you know, all of the testing that I've had over the, you know, long period of time. So I feel very comfortable. All right. To me, I'm talking to people on a party line. And I'm just trying to find the right connection. I don't feel surprised by any of the things that I hear because I've heard a lot of different responses over the years. So I guess the main thing that I really want here is to feel that blessing of love, from the people that I care about most. That's really all I'm trying to do. Is nothing else about it that's special to me. It's just, I guess the fact that I'm on one frequency and not sweeping is probably fascinating to a lot of people, but knowing that the tools are built into this device to enable that, or sweeping 2 frequencies, 3 frequencies, 100 frequencies, it doesn't really matter, because this box affords me the ability to experiment at all levels. I've sometimes I'll comment on Twitter or something, and I'll say, how many people think that I can communicate with 4 frequencies, and sweeping them really fast, and kind of stuff. And some people have a lot of confidence in what I can do, and they'll say, I'm pretty sure you can do it, and then I'll narrow it down. I'll get down to 3, 2, and then I'm like, okay, do you think I can do it without sweeping at all? And to my surprise, spirits are more than capable, and they're very obliging when it comes time to communicate with one frequency. You just have to be able to have a little bit of patience in dealing with it. And I think one of the paramount things that we have to be aware of is that spirits will gladly talk to you if they realize that you're a good communicator. Okay. So if you're a poor communicator, and I see this all the time by watching other videos and stuff online, I see responses going over everybody's head, and they don't feel like they're accomplishing anything. But a spirit will give you the time of day if you ask them, but they're really going to give you the cold shoulder if you don't tell them the time or hear the time that they tell you. It's one of those kind of things, So it's it's, for me, it's a normal progression, but and it's been gradual over the years. So there's nothing there that shocks or surprises me. This is how it should be.
One of the things I had brought up to you real quick, Gary, a couple of weeks ago, the ones that I was in contact with for a better part of a month kept telling me we're not dead. Every time I would say dead, they kind of got aggressive. We're not dead. They would say that. We live, things like that. And then you had told me, well, I'd never met any that were upset that I referred to him as dead. So I started saying the living spirit. I'm Sean. I'm your friend. I'm here to contact the living spirit tonight. And I've had some success with that, guys. It seems like they've responded more, maybe a respect thing. I don't know. You meet all different types. I've also been told I'm an a-hole and a bunch of other stuff. But, the more you do this, I see what you're saying, the more the connection gets. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that you'll hear a response a little bit further in after my parents and my family start talking to me. But you'll hear a particular spirit say something about, right now I'm dead. Right now I'm dead.
Right.
That tells me that he hasn't progressed. He hasn't made it to heaven or the hereafter, to the next realm. And I want to point out to a lot of people too that my spiritual journey, my spiritual awareness has taken me through all kinds of challenges and things that I never thought were possible. So I've had the astral travel. I've had out-of-body experiences. I've seen heaven. Melissa's taken me by the hand and literally said, "Come on, Daddy, I want to show you something," and taken me into these most beautiful locations I've ever seen in my life. So this is all part of that journey, and it's a journey that has many different phases to it. It's not just Gary Galka working on a spirit box, or working on the APF or something, a technical product. that's just a small piece of the pie. There's just so much waiting for all of us, and the biggest thing that I've learned is that we all possess the ability to do a lot of things that you're unaware of. And I mean, we all have the ability to communicate with our minds. I've communicated many times with Melissa in a semi-sleep state where I could hear her voice and we carry on a conversation. We all have the ability, whether you realize or not, to heal yourself in some cases. I've done it. I've actually done it, and I've got X-rays from showing before and after without any fusion of a bone and without any kinds of intervention by casting and stuff like that on a broken bone. So, it's this visualization plays a major role. Visualizing plays a big role in things that we do for ourselves, and we're getting to that point, but it won't happen in my lifetime. It will happen, maybe 100 years from now. But visualization is a powerful tool in how we live our daily lives. What you put out, how you see yourself, how you feel in terms of health, peace of mind, clarity, all these things. Right? Those are all things that we control. And I don't want to get into that subject too deep, but there are a lot of mysteries there that I'd like to spend my time learning more about.
Guys, with the spirit communication, it really has shown me what I knew all along, because I grew up in a haunted house, so I really had never had a chance not to believe in the paranormal. But with Gary's devices, it even shows us more that reality is so much more than what we can see. And standing at the abyss of the known and unknown, at these haunted locations, and you get that fight or flight, when something happens, it's a rush, man. It's huge, and I love doing it. So I got to thank you for that, Gary. Would you like to go on with the video?
I do. Yeah, we didn't get to the good stuff yet.
All right, here we go. And
there's so much good stuff.
We're here, Gary. I heard that. Let me just bring it up a little bit. I'm going to just back up a little bit. See, I'm not sweeping at all. I'm backing up. We're here. Gary. Hello. How are you?
Sean?
I heard you.
And now you're starting to make contact with the family. I heard
Right.
mother coming through, and here we go. This is getting amazing.
My brother, my sister's there. My sister Deb passed away about 15 months ago or so. She, my younger sister, so it's an interesting story about my sister Deb when she passed away.
Gary.
I got up early in the morning. It was before dark, and my wife and I got up, and I told my wife, I said, I have to go back to bed. I feel like somebody wants to reach out to me, and I always do that. I have this feeling. I go back to bed. It puts me into a semi-conscious state, and I heard my sister call out to me in the room, and I came downstairs and told my wife, I said, I think my sister Deb passed away. She reached out to me this morning. She called out to me. And then about 5 minutes later, I got a call from the hospital, said, my sister passed away.
Oh my God.
So it was like, I've had a lot of stuff like that happen. My daughter's husband, who passed away, he was on the show, the episode that I was on, young guy. He passed away, and after he passed away, within 24 hours, he came to me, came up and gave me a hug. And I've had so many interactions with people that I know, even people from high school that I kept in contact with after they passed away. They've all come up and greeted me with a smile to let me know that they're okay. So all in all, I've probably seen about 8 or 9 people that have crossed over, friends and family that have all come to me after they pass. Very interesting. So that's motivated me. A lot of those types of things motivate me to stay on track and stay focused and work hard to come to some conclusion, at least in my lifetime, what needs to be done here. So with those things they're saying, you hear the identifying keywords. You hear that's my brother, and in other times I've connected with my sister. You could hear her saying to others that are with her, she will say stuff like, "Don't worry, he'll tune it in. He knows what he's doing." Those types of things. Little words of confidence, in making that association and connection, which is really kind of nice. I mean, I talk to all my family members who have crossed over. I hold them in my conversations when I'm alone. I'll make sure they know what's going on and talk to them. You never know when they're around, and it kind of makes me feel good. So even when I'm not using a device like this, So, all right. So where are we now?
I backed it up a little bit to get it ready.
Okay.
And we are actually we're ready.
Okay, we're ready.
There we go.
Let's do it.
I am opening the opportunity for my loved ones to come through. Only my loved ones. I'm not here to chit-chat with any of you right now. So this is for family. And specifically one person, because I want to wish her a happy birthday. It's coming up. I want this to be clean. I don't want to hear from any of you unless you're related to me. Are we clear on that?
I think you went back a little bit too far.
Okay, let's speed it up just here. 2 minutes, 29 seconds. Forward, Gary.
Yeah, let's just keep it going.
Expect me to answer you
Otherwise, we
back.
won't get through it.
I'm not looking to talk with you.
We're here, Gary.
We're here, Gary. I heard that. Let me just bring it up a little bit. I'm going to just back up a little bit. See, I'm not sweeping at all. I'm backing up. We're here. Gary, hello. How are you? I heard you. Let me back up one more time. Repeat what you just said. Make sure we're on the same page. Gary, we're here. That's what you said. Help out. Back up 2 times. Let's see if I can get it any clearer. Gary, we're here. It's not that clear, but I did. Then you just said you heard me. Back up one more time. Okay. And then I'm looking for my family to reach out to me. Look, I understand that you're dead. I'm not going to be talking to you right now. I'm trying to connect specifically with my family.
Now, Gary, I wanted to stop it right there because that's where it starts getting amazing. Because if you guys pick that up, it says Gary loud. That's the loudest communication we've had during this session so far. It says we're at the table. I have yet to, I had a spirit one time tell me they were in the room. They refused to leave, but that's amazing. Now they're telling you they're at the table. They're telling you actual locations. So they're in the house with you.
Yeah, what happened, that was my sister Deb.
Okay.
So I mean, you really don't have an opportunity to hear stuff like that. If you're sweeping, that could be mixed in with a lot of other chatter and noise and everything else. But that was so distinctive and clear. And she wanted me to be without doubt that they were there. And, you know, let's get this thing going, Gare, because, you know, I don't know how long they have. You know, it's always very short. It's not like we can sit and talk for a long time, but I have to be honest with everybody. You know, I did chop this down from, 18 minutes down to 10 minutes, just because it was so long. They were there for at least 15 minutes of it, but bits and pieces. It wasn't until the other one subsided. The other spirits have to pull back so that they can say the things that need to be said to me that are important. So there are many things that happen. You know, we're being distracted. You have other spirits that who knows who they are. You're in a room with a bunch of strangers. So, my parents have a real challenge too. And my sister and Melissa, they're all trying to get through, but how? So the challenge is just the opposite. It's not me trying to reach them. It's how do they get through to me amidst all of this, bullcrap that's going on, in the room.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to do. It's not like we have a private room that we can talk. It's really tough.
Now, Gary, with the Radio X, is there an ANC audio noise control involved in that? How are you cutting out the is
ANC.
That what you're using to get the background?
Yeah.
Out?
The ANC is an important element, to be able to break up the frequencies the way I do it. It's a little more elaborate. It's a higher processor, but that's why I made the ANC Mini, to give everybody the same opportunity, with their SB7s to do different things. I've proven, and I've done this, and if you look on YouTube and stuff, I've taken an ANC Mini, an X1 speaker, and an SB7. It could be the Pro or the regular. I would prefer that it be the Pro, because the Pro you can take 10 kilohertz steps, which is you can tune into the fringe areas around a strong station. And the most viable area for communication is the leading edge and trailing edge of a strong station.
Sure.
So I have literally been able to communicate and get spirits, same thing on one frequency with ANC Mini, SB7 Pro, and a speaker. All right, and I've got that documented on my YouTube channel. I don't think a lot of people recognize the strength that they have using some of the basic tools that I've created. I don't think anybody's really experimented at the level that I have in order to achieve this. But the more I do it, the stronger my spirit responses become, because you're attracting more spirits. They're learning how to use it better. They're learning the same way that you're learning. It just takes time and patience.
How would you say I know this is a beautiful thing. Your family's coming through, you recognize the voices, but we all know there is, and a lot of people don't like to talk about it, there's a dark side to spirit communication as well.
No doubt.
How would you tell someone, let's say I had a Radio X ITC, and my mother, I lost her August 31st. So she's coming through. I know mom's voice. What's the chances that there could be an evil or an energy that's pretending or to mislead just for shits and giggles? Go ahead. What do you think?
Well,
how do you stop that?
That's 100% accurate. It happens.
Yeah,
it happens. Okay, but so that's why through the process, I'm looking for recognizable voices. Other spirits have their own voice. This device allows them to utilize the voice that they're familiar with, the voice that they remember, as part of their being when they were alive. My daughter, Melissa, my father, my mother, my sister, Deb, they can reproduce their voice quality. When you heard Gary, that was my sister, Debbie. That's her voice, strong as can be. Okay. And so one of those things that I want to be able to share with everybody is that when you connect with your loved one, look for their voice. Now, one of the interesting things that happened here, and I want to point this out, it's very important, is when you hear Gary, we're here, or we're here, Gary, one of those, it was almost like a robotic sound. Okay. So what was happening is my sister was trying to get my attention and do something that no one else was doing in the room. All right. So she got my attention. And as soon as I heard that, I sensed this was their technique, their strategy to be recognizable among an entire room of other spirits.
Yeah, she was loud.
Right. Well,
Gary.
Well, she said Gary, but then before that, she goes, she said something else, which it sounds scratchy and weird, yeah. But that's what got my real attention. Okay. Because, it connected with me and I could decipher it instantly. And those are the things that I would expect my loved ones to do. Get creative. Melissa was always like that. She wants to talk to me. My subconscious, she would show me a picture of a telephone above my head, and she would tell me, answer the phone, Daddy. Daddy, answer the phone. I pick up the phone. Next thing I know, I'm talking to her in real time, while I'm sleeping. I'm like, unbelievable, that we're having this conversation. I asked her everything about Jesus, are you in another realm? And I hear kids laughing and playing in the background. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I'm with friends. And I said, okay. And then I hear a girl in the background say, who are you talking to? And Melissa goes, my dad. And she goes, no way. And Melissa goes, Daddy, my friend doesn't believe that you and I can talk like this. And she goes, here, talk to my dad. She goes, hello. And I go, hi, I'm Melissa's dad. Nice to talk to you. She goes, wow. She goes, it's nice to talk to you too, you know? And it's like, she goes, I can't believe that you're doing this. And then Melissa goes, I told you I can talk to my dad, you know? And then it was one of the most amazing things. But the biggest thing I got from that conversation, aside from talking to Melissa, was she wanted to emphasize to look for her light, okay, when I die. So when I transition to spirit, she goes, Daddy, this is very important. Look for my light. She said it about 4 times. She goes, I'll make sure I'm clear to you. Look for my light.
Look for my light.
Yeah. So it was 3:32, 3:33 in the morning when this happened. Very strange. But 3:33 had a lot of significance throughout my life. You know, I used to race motocross. That was the number of my plate on my bike. You know, whenever after Melissa passed, I would get 3 taps on my shoulder. You know, it's just remarkable how, you know, things kind of the synchronicity of the whole thing, how things fell into place. But yeah, so I'm digressing here a little bit, but you know, there's so much more that meets the eye, and I feel very blessed to be able to participate in stuff that most people would never understand, and it's just part of my own spiritual awakening. You know, it's really an exciting thing. I often think to myself and I say, you know, how many people know everything that I know on this earth? And you know, you talk about bad spirits and stuff. You know, I've had my bout with attachments, so I can tell you with certainty that they exist, and they can really do a number on a person if you're not strong, if you're not prepared for it. But once you win the battle, which I had to do, I had to win the battle with them, and it's tough. Once you win it, you have nothing to worry about.
I know. And you told me stories before. I just want
you
to
guys, people don't know the half of it. Okay, there's only a handful of people on this earth that know what I've gone through. Zach is one of them. Chris Fleming is one of them. Dustin Perry is one of them. These are all people that came to my rescue when I couldn't figure out what was happening to me. It was pretty intense. So I think that there's a lot when spirits see, when there are spirits who see progress being made, there are a lot of angry spirits. There are a lot of spirits that resent. They're very resentful of your life, the quality of life that you have. There are spirits that will prey upon grief. They will prey upon, you know, things that are upsetting in your life. They will try to amplify those things. A lot of people don't realize that because, you know, outbursts, anger outbursts, road rage. I can tell you a million things that can happen as a result of a negative or a nasty spirit intervening and trying to turn a little teeny anthill into a mountain of trouble. That's all they try to do, is create problems for you. So once you learn how to control that and break it apart, you can do a number on them. And that's something that I was able to succeed at. It took a while to understand, figure things out. You have to look at things logically. You have to look at things illogically. You have to analyze things from perspectives that most people wouldn't understand. And you have to have a lot of support around you, a lot of love. So that's my feeling on the bad energy that exists. You'll always have a good on one side, just like the cartoons growing up as a kid, angel and a devil, and you have to create balance in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's
okay. Let's get back to the video. You got one question from Paranormal Voyages. What are your thoughts on pets coming through?
Oh, I love pets. And, you know, Melissa has, every time I've questioned Mel about our chocolate lab, Holly, she has answered me with an actual visit, bringing the dog with her. So I've been so excited to see our dog in heaven. And I know for a fact that our pets are well cared for in the hereafter. There's no doubt. But whether I can communicate with them is another story. I've never tried. I've never tried. Because I've always believed that the love of our family members are providing that same amount of love that we had for the animal to them and caring for them on the other side. So I've always felt very comfortable and blessed to know that our dog is cared for. All of our pets are cared for, that we love. I know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope so. Okay, here we go, guys, with the video rolling right on. The last response was, "We're beside you."
Can you go back just a pinch?
Mm-hmm.
A little tiny bit?
How about 6:11?
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that's cool. That might be too far, but let's try.
Okay, here we go.
Look, I understand that you're dead. I'm not going to be talking to you right now.
An individual.
I'm trying to connect specifically with my family.
We're asking.
Gary?
We're asking.
No, you're not. Gary, we're at the table? Gary?
We're asking.
You're at the table. Let me back up one more time. Where'd you go, guys? You're at the table in front of me? Okay. Hey, guys. I miss you. Okay, let me back up one more time.
An individual.
Gary, you're at the table. So you're sitting here at the table with me right now. I just wanted to wish Mel a happy birthday. Be the first one to wish you a happy birthday. And let you all know how much I miss and love you. You heard. I can hear.
Okay, I think that we're all starting to sense and see that connection has been established here. That's a really important part of what's happened. And there's a lot of validating things. I'm excited at this point because I know that I finally made that connection possible. And there's a lot of little things that are happening. Like they're also talking among themselves. So everything isn't directed just at me or towards my conversation and the things I'm saying. They're talking among themselves. They're also looking at validation. Did he hear me? He hears you. Those types of things are being said in the background. So I'm listening to all this stuff happen, and I'm understanding, because spirits will talk among themselves. Keep in mind, you've got my family members. They're a group. They're all there together. But they want to make sure that they optimize their time to the best of their ability to give me the experience that will help me feel it in my heart, to help heal my heart at that point in time. So that's pretty much what they're trying to do at this level. So I think that everybody can hear what's happening. Can we back up just a little bit, Sean, on that?
Absolutely.
Because I think some of that stuff is really important.
How far you want to go back? I'm at 7:55 right now.
7:55. Just go back. Maybe 7, 8, 10 seconds.
Okay, we're right there. And here we go.
Wish Mel a happy birthday. Be the first one to wish you a happy birthday. And let you all know how much I miss and love you. You heard. I can hear.
Here's my love.
You said he hears.
Here's like
All right, hold on a second. You're adding more to it. You're embellishing the same thing.
foster as lawyers. I think here's like
He hears me.
not
Hi.
millionaires right now.
Okay.
I kind of like it because they're acknowledging that my device is a communication device. Okay, and they're saying you can hear us right now, like you can hear us clearly right now with that thing, and so they hear their own voice, which is something that you're not really thinking about, right? But they hear their voice coming through this device. So here they are, in another realm or in spirit form. Now they're hearing everything come out, and they're also trying to listen as I process in my mind to see how clearly I'm hearing them as they try to speak to me. I mean, it's like mind-boggling what's happening here. We're looking at the words that I'm putting on the screen, but there's a whole big process happening in the background here.
Absolutely.
So, but they're commenting among themselves, and they're making attempts, and I'm analyzing. I'm always analyzing, very analytical when I look at things and try to figure things out. But that's just back up a few seconds.
What is that you keep pointing at? Is that the decibel rates or the hertz levels?
No, I don't know why I'm doing that. The speaker, the speaker here and here.
Okay.
And I'm also looking at the tick marks. But one of the things I want to point out is that their spirit communicate. I have things broken up so much. I'm configuring this in so many different ways that I'm amplifying their voice, but I'm not adding enough gain to my spectrum, which would allow it to show a little artifact as it goes by. So some of the voices are coming through, some of them aren't. I'm looking to see if with my finger just to point out. Also, because I knew that other people would be looking at this at some point on the video, and I'm trying to point out where an artifact would normally appear as I rewind it and stuff. I know it's just my mindset at the time, I think. So
Everyday Treasures ask a question. Are old spirits aware of the modern world and its changes? I would have to say yes.
Yeah, good question. One of the things that most people should be made aware of is that the spirits that are around us, there are many spirits that haven't crossed over. They're very close to our realm, and a lot of them are very much in tune with everyday events, current events, whether it be picked up from sound from your radio, your TV, conversations that you have, phone calls that you have, anything that you view, listen to. If they're close to our realm, they can hear it as well. And I can watch something on television or listen to a particular song, and 5 minutes later I'll have a spirit trying to sing a verse from a song that I listened to a few minutes earlier, and I'll block them out. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. If I want to listen to it, I'll turn it on, my Alexa, and tell her to play the song, and besides, and they get angry if I tell them. The ones that are doing that are the ones that will try to annoy you. And I'll say, and besides, you can't reproduce the music quality as good as they can anyways, as long as as well as the regular track. Well, then they'll try to prove to me that they can add chorus to it. And they'll try to prove to me that they can add a higher pitch or reproduce it better. They said, all we have to do is tap into your mind, okay, to hear it a little bit better. And before you know it, damn it, they're reproducing, the song almost CD quality in my consciousness. And at that point, I'm like, okay, you prove that you can do it. And then I block them out and I just move on. A lot of people don't realize that getting a voice or song out of your head is really a spirit that's pissing you off. Okay. He's trying to piss you off. And I've heard some people go 2 weeks with a song in their mind, and finally the spirit gets bored with you and he moves on. But that's really what's happening. It's not your mind.
Tinnitus drive you nuts.
It's not an earworm, the way scientists have tried to convince everybody. It's like believe me, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's very simple explanations. But a lot of people would rather sell medicine and drugs and everything else to try to fix what's going on. But
Yes, they are. They are
Yeah.
in the U.S.
all right, give Paranormal Voyage an SB7, and give who else did we not give one to? BTV.
Okay, it's Jonathan, Paranormal Voyage. So we're not going to do the drawing. We're just going to give it to him, right?
Yeah. Let's just give that to them.
Congratulations, Paranormal Voyages. You are a big winner today of Gary's Hospitalities. Make sure you go to T-Cells at DASDistribution.com and give him all your shipping information. Okay, Jonathan? That's T-Cells at DASDistribution.com. Let me know you got that, brother. I'll put it in chat here real quick. T-Cells at DASDistribution. It's not distributions, right, Gary? It's distribution.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, .com.
Yeah, Jonathan's got a lot of my good stuff, so I want to keep him up to date with the things I have. And
okay, great. Who else was it on your list, Gary?
I don't know anybody. I see Angela. I would do some. We gave it to Angela, right?
Angela won.
Yeah. If Debbie was local, I think she's in UK and she's probably past her bedtime. I would gladly do something for her, but I don't have a license to ship to UK and for their VAT taxes and stuff, so I can't do that. But yeah, I think I covered everybody. If there's anybody I missed in my room here, I don't see anybody else in here, but that's fine. So that should work out.
T-Cells at DASDistribution.com. Okay, we got 3 to give away. And you said BTV-F8 won.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations, BTV-F8. Make sure you go to T-Cells.
And I appreciate those of you who stopped by and tuned into this. I don't do it very often, but it's always, it's fun. It's fun to meet some of you and talk to you and get to know you a little bit better.
Years.
You said he hears.
Years.
All right, hold on a second. You're adding more to it. You're embellishing the same thing. He hears me. Hi. He hears. Of course, I hear if it's clear. He hears me. I know that you're dead. But you're not who I want to speak to.
Degrading.
There are there are significant number of filing
Okay, I guess I'm going to turn it off.
it is for
Thanks for your effort. Love you guys.
That is amazing, Gary. Direct communication, never before heard. Thank you for releasing on the show live. Direct communication with your family. Do you know the implications of that? To be able to pick up a device and connect specifically with a loved one that's moved on. I think it's Tesla's dream and Edison's dream realized. It's happened. I put it right up there with the government saying UAPs are real. We're not alone. So I think it's huge.
I think one of the most important things, Sean, is a lot of the work that I do, I do so that people can find some sense of comfort knowing that their loved ones are in a great place. I've had that advantage through Melissa, but a lot of people haven't had that. And
No, they haven't.
It's important to me that
It took
people
me a
realize.
It took me a while with mom. I was kind of scared to reach out. All the spirits I've talked to, but I lost mom late August. And I told you, I called you. Remember? I said, I'm a little scared
I know.
to reach out to mom. And
You were lost.
I haven't been able to get a hold of her since. I've talked to many spirits, but I've been recording the sessions. And if I do, guys, I'll put it up on my TikTok page. But what do you think, Gary? Anything else you got to say about this groundbreaking work that you have, sir? So much.
Yeah, no, a lot of people have been asking me if I'm going to release the product, and I've given it a lot of thought. There's some things that I've done with it that haven't been released yet for the public, that I'm hoping will actually happen sometime. Whether or not it's revealed or not, I don't know. But one of the things about the product is there's the Radio X is that there's like over 2,000. There's over 2,000 configurations for this device, and it's not really designed for an amateur or a beginner, to take it and try to do something with it. They would be disappointed. Right. So it's just like anything else. You start off with something simple like an SB7. You learn how to decipher. You learn how to translate what you're listening to. And then once you have those acquired skills, then you go further, and the Radio X would be something different. But I've actually received comments from the spirit world about Radio X as being people not being ready for it. And one of the things that I'm worried about is the complexity of it and people not being properly trained in how to use it. And then the other issue that is really weighs heavy on my mind is I don't want people using it to make money. Yeah. I really don't. And this would allow everybody to basically call themselves electronic medium, because they would be connecting in ways that hasn't been done before. And next thing you know, people are charging, and to me, that's not why I'm doing this. So I think that the future for Radio X, I think there's a place for it in the ITC community. I believe it's something that could be a valuable asset to those who are ITC professionals, who have an understanding, who would use it properly, without exploiting what it can do, or taking advantage of what it can do. So if I do sell it, I would probably sell it, and I would probably have a school or have an opportunity where people can come if they have an interest in it. And I would sit down with them and give them a good solid 8 hours of training, because there's over 2,000 configurations for this thing. There's settings, there's settings within settings, and, sub menus, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff. And it's taken me a long time to figure it out. But there are no shortcuts. And I don't want anybody to be disappointed. That's the other fear I have. I don't want anybody to be disappointed because they don't have the same success that somebody else might have. Right. So, there's a lot, there's sensitive things there that bother me. And I don't want anybody to be left out. It's just my nature,
Yeah. Well, I think that this can't be deprived from the world. I think, the people that are going to come out and they're going to say, oh, I'm medium or whatever. Well, everybody's going to own these things. If you do decide to come forward, the people that are going to be able to afford and stuff are going to know and practice with it. And they're going to call these people out, charlatans, I can do this. Why can't? But I do understand your concern. I do. People making money, but look at people making money off of things now. I mean, it's hard to stop. You know, you have late night psychic hotlines still. Whether you know, believe if it's real or not. I mean, people give their credit card information to numerous, you know, late night infomercials to talk to their dead loved ones. And I just think everybody deserves a chance to actually go face to face and try to make that connection themselves. But that's my opinion. So
yeah. Well, these are all things that are weighing heavy on my mind, how I'm going to, you know, pursue this and deal with it in the future. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I have to, if what I think might happen does happen, and what I mean by that is if some of the things I've done in the past come to fruition and are released to, you know, to television or whatever it is, then I want to see what the outcome is from that. I want to see how people react to it.
Right.
You know, so, you know, after we did our episode, there was a lot of good that came out of it, but there was also a lot of bad that came out of that. And I just wanted to crawl under a rock afterwards. I didn't feel comfortable.
What episode was that?
Our Melissa episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A lot of haters. Yeah. When I had my TV show,
it was horrible.
You can't horrible. The media the next day. Yeah.
You talk about worrying about, you know, bad spirits interrupting you or bothering you.
Right.
You know, forget them. They're nothing compared to the real people who walk and talk on this earth.
Exactly.
With two legs. Okay.
Hate.
You know, I've got, you know, hate, death threats. I got, you know, hope you rot in prison, and with a bunch of profanity and all kinds of stuff, all because they thought that I was capitalizing on the loss of our daughter.
Yeah,
by having a products, which, you know, my feeling on that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've always told you I'd rather give stuff away than sell it if it was my option, right?
Oh, you've proven it tonight, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've proven it over and over again. And Gary, guys, for you that don't know, first time I met Gary, he just sent me the RTEVP. That was one of the first things I said. Wow, thanks, Gary. You know, and Gary didn't even know me, and that was years ago. I think 7-8 years ago when you first came on the show.
Long time ago, over 8 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time. But brother, I know we're out of time.
Yeah,
we went over about 45 minutes. But
I want to thank everybody too. I want to thank everybody that participated and showed up, and
absolutely.
Maybe we can do this again sometime, because there's a lot more that we could talk about for sure.
Oh man, I got so many questions. You know, you're always welcome on here. Could you hold out the green root for 1 second? Green root?
Be happy. Bye, everybody.
Yeah,
have a great weekend.
Absolutely. And thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And of course, special thanks to my friend, my brother, my teacher, Gary Galka from ProMeasure.com, and of course DAS Distribution. Distribution's amazing spirit box, amazing stuff. It's a game changer. Like I said, Tesla's and Edison's idea realized the time's here. It's now, and Gary's actually brought that to the forefront. So I hope it's made available soon to worthy people that won't exploit it, because I think the world deserves it. I really do. And anyway, guys, I just want to thank everybody for showing up tonight and coming into chat. I hope you join me each week at right here, guys, on YouTube. I go live, and of course, you can check out 16 years of the best in the paranormal and horror television at shadownation.com. Follow me, like, share, subscribe. Please, guys, get the friends out, get the numbers up. 16 years, a long time. And I do it all on my own, guys. So I wanted to take this opportunity to say, and the music's going to play, special thanks to all our homes, all our sponsors, the Red Lion Pub and Restaurant in Fountain Square, Indianapolis, the best in authentic British food, guys. And my cousin actually owns it. So go in there and tell him Ghostman Sean B sent you. If you live in Indianapolis, Creative Zombie Studios, everything you need for the podcasting world. Be the best. Be creative. CreativeZombie.com. Once again, smash the subscribe, like, and follow button on YouTube, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is where I do my dead sessions. That's at Shadow Nation Pod 1, at Shadow Nation Pod 1. Guys, special thanks to Gary Galka. I love you, Gary. Thanks for coming on. And from the haunted back roads of America, This has been another exclusive Shadow Nation interview. Don't go changing America. You know I won't. Because I love you. Good night, everyone.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Stop this. A UFO.